welcome. Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for homemade pizza, and for this I'm going to do it in two parts. I'm going to make the dough and then we'll move on to letting the dough rest before we put our pizza together. So here I have 2 cups of flour. I'm going to add some salt, some olive oil and some yeast, and I will leave the list of ingredients with the measurements down below in the description box for you all. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put and you're also going to need some water, some lukewarm water. So in this bowl, I'm going to put some salt, just a little bit to season our flour. And I'm putting my water, my yeast, and some of the olive oil. And I'm saving a little bit to grease the bowl when we put it to proof. Now this is a dough hook. It's called a Danish dough hook, and I'm going to use this to knead my flour. To my mixture here, I'm going to add in the flour slowly, and using my dough hook I'm going to mix it in. This works way better than a whisk, because with a whisk there are so many pieces that form that whisk that your flour would get stuck. So mix this until the dough comes together. Okay, once your dough has come together, put it onto your surface because we're going to knead this. Now using your hands, you're going to knead this, and if you want some dry flour, you can use some. Now for my 2 cups of flour, I use 3/4 cups of lukewarm water. Depending on your climate and the humidity in your kitchen, you may or may not use all of it. Some of you may need more. So if you do, then just go ahead and add more. You want a slightly sticky dough like this. So I'm going to continue kneading this until it's smooth and the gluten has formed. So I would say for about 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, so I've finished kneading my dough, and as you can see how smooth it is. That's what you want, a really smooth dough. So with the little bit of oil that I have left over, I'm going to put some in my bowl. And you don't want to put too much. You just want to lightly grease your bowl. And take your dough that you formed into a ball and just turn it out in there so that it's coated with that oil. Cover it and store it in a warm place until it has doubled in size. Now, a tip to getting this to rise really quickly is if you put it into your microwave. But before you do that, you want to put your microwave on for 60 seconds, let it run. When it's finished, you open it, pop this in, and the heat that microwave created is going to help this to rise much faster. Okay, so my dough is ready, and this just took like 10 minutes because I put on that microwave and I let it run, and the heat helped the dough to rise faster. So if you try that, your dough will be ready in no time. So I'm going to turn this out onto a floured surface. Just want to deflate it. I'm just going to bring it back into a bowl. This dough feels so nice. So now I'm just going to let it rest for like 5 minutes, because when I put it back into that bowl, it started to pull on me, which means that it needs to rest. So I'm just going to let it rest for 5 minutes and then I'll roll it out. Okay, now I'm going to roll out my dough, and I'm going to roll it up big enough so that it fits on a 14-inch pizza pan. Now, if I didn't mention before, you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now here I have my pizza pan, and it's perforated, and the holes there are what's going to get my pizza nice and crunchy at the bottom. So I just want to put a little bit of olive oil. It's a non-stick, but I still want to put a little bit of olive oil just to make sure it doesn't stick. And it's also going to give it a nice golden brown color. And I'm going to transfer my dough to my pan. Okay, so the toppings that I have for my pizza are some sweet peppers, red and green, some tomatoes, onions, pineapple, mushrooms, and I'm using the mushrooms in the tin because I prefer these, but if you like the fresh mushrooms, you can use that. And I have a mixture of mozzarella and Monterrey Jack cheese because I just like the creaminess of the Monterrey Jack, and I like the elasticity of the mozzarella cheese. You know, when you bite into that pizza, it just pulls away. That's what I like. And I have here some turkey salami, and I'm only going to be using this on half of the pizza. That's my husband's half. I prefer mine's vegetarian. Now the other thing is I don't put any tomato sauce on my pizza. I like it white. So if you like it with tomato sauce, you can buy a tin of the pre-seasoned tomato sauce, the one with oregano and peppers and all of that, and you can put it as a base. But I'm going to put my cheese as a base, put my vegetables, and finish off with my cheese. That's the way I like my pizza. So if you like it differently, you can by all means put whatever toppings you like and make it how you would like it. So I'm starting off with my cheese layer, and I know some people put ketchup at the bottom of their pizza, and if you want to do that, you can also, if you don't want to use the tomato sauce. Sometimes I do use the ketchup, but today I'm just gonna make it white, and this way it saves me from making two pizzas. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in my vegetables, and I like to cut my vegetables small and for it to look uniform. Tomatoes, and when you cut up your tomatoes, you want to try and take the seeds out because that's just moisture that you're putting on your pizza, and you don't want your pizza when you cook it for it to come out soggy. So try and get all of that moisture off. Onions, pineapple, and I love pineapple on my pizza. I feel like I'm not having pizza if I don't have pineapple on it. Mushrooms, and you want to squeeze the moisture out of the mushrooms also, because remember it's sitting in a can of liquid and you don't want that pizza to become soggy. So I always take a paper towel and press down on them so I can get most of the moisture out. And now I'm gonna finish off with my cheese, and I'm using low-fat mozzarella cheese. My oven just came up to temperature. I'm using low-fat mozzarella cheese because we are going to eat pizza and it's going to be so much calories, so we might as well cut back somewhere. So now I'm going to put my pizza in my oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit to bake for about 30 to 45 minutes until it's cooked and it's nice and golden brown. Okay, so my pizza just came out of the oven. It's nice and golden brown and it's really hot. So I'm going to take my time and I'm going to use my pizza cutter. I'm going to slice into it, and it actually took 30 minutes. So I made a mistake with the time. It's 30 minutes depending on your oven. So this is really crispy. I like my crust really thin and crispy, and that's how I made it. So now I'm going to cut into it and then I'll show you all how it looks. So here you have it, my homemade pizza. I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. Make it and let me know down below if you like it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all another day with another one of my recipes. Enjoy!